Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Israel has denied a visa to a top UN official in a growing row following comments from the UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres.
I shall be going to Cairo.
Martin Griffiths, the Under-Secretary-General for Humanitarian Affairs, has reportedly already been denied a visa, with UN officials likely to receive the same fate. With other UN officials likely to receive the same fate.
I am shocked by the misrepresentations by some of my statement yesterday in the Security Council.
It's after Antonio Guterres said the Hamas attack on the 7th of October didn't happen in a vacuum, something Israeli authorities say equates to justifying the atrocity. Pope Francis has renewed his calls for the release of hostages held by Palestinian militants and for humanitarian aid to be allowed in. Meanwhile, Israel continues to bombard the Gaza Strip, with the Hamas-run health ministry saying almost 6,500 people have now been killed in the strikes. Hospitals in the area are stopping all but emergency services as fuel runs out.
We've just run out of almost everything. Yesterday, a lot of the times we had very little electricity. And the killing continues.
Poland must use all methods possible to access frozen European Union funds. That's according to the opposition leader Donald Tusk, as he went to Brussels to resolve rows between Warsaw and the EU that have led to the cash being withheld. Tusk, who is likely to become Poland's next prime minister after a group of pro-European Union parties secured a majority in an October the 15th election, is aiming to gain access to billions of euros the EU put on hold due to concerns about judicial independence under the previous nationalist government. At stake is Poland's access to 35.4 billion euros in grants and loans from the EU's recovery fund.
This purpose today is to rebuild the position of my country in Europe and to strengthen the EU as a whole.
Workers at a South African mine have begun to resurface after being held underground for 3 days in what police are calling a hostage situation. Hostage takers armed with weapons like clubs and mining tools had held more than 500 miners at the Gold One mine. The miners were trapped amid a dispute between two trade unions. The National Union of Mine Workers said hooligans had held its members against their will. Cyclone Hamoon has moved into southeastern Bangladesh, bringing with it heavy winds and rains that battered hundreds of houses and left at least 3 people dead. Thousands of trees were uprooted, while houses built with corrugated sheets were destroyed by the power of the storm. Power supply and internet connection remained down as of Wednesday afternoon, and road links to many of the towns near the main city remained blocked. The Seoul Metropolitan Government has conducted a crowd control drill ahead of the 1-year anniversary of a deadly Halloween crush, showcasing an AI-backed program designed to detect and alert potential overcrowding. The early warning system will start on Halloween and will comprise of 909 CCTV cameras that will analyse crowd movement and density and alert authorities for signs of danger. The trial run of the system was conducted at a busy and narrow alley of bars and restaurants in Seoul, where 150 volunteers crowded into a 30-square-metre area. A complete lack of preparation and crowd control measures were blamed for the disaster in the same area a year ago, where a crowd surge led to the deaths of 159 people. And Britain's King Charles and Queen Consort Camilla have hosted a royal reception at Buckingham Palace ahead of their visit to Kenya. The royals met guests including film director Gurinder Chadha and actor Nitin Ganatra, who are both of Indian heritage but were born in Kenya. Various artefacts and photos were also on display, including a photo of Charles meeting former Kenyan President Jomo Kenyatta during a visit to the country in 1971. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.